welcome back, or welcome if you're new here. I am Lisa, I am the Ukulele Fool. My joke is I've been teaching music for not a hot minute, a hot hour. I started teaching in 1983 at Eielson Air Force Base in Alaska. Okay, we're going to do this iconic ABBA tune. Get ready, get your ukulele, get your favorite beverage. I've got timestamps down below for everything that I'm going to talk about. I'll do the chords. You need these chords in order to be able to do the song, but you know what? Don't let that F7 and that B7 scare you. I have some ideas and options if those look a little too daunting. Speaking of daunting, we'll start out with an easy strum, and then I'll show you various things that you can add for flair and spice, but you don't have to. And how many times do you play that chord? I'll go over that as well. Oh, and I also have a little riff. I'll show you how to do that, and I'll show you how to not do it as well. If you don't want to do it, I'll show you how you can keep strumming. I have my history nerd section. This is something that I think is exclusive to me. Let me know if somebody else does these history nerd stuff. I love history. I teach it at the university level right now, and so yeah, history nerd section and a play along, and I've tried to make my play alongs gorgeous and visual and all that kind of cool stuff. I hope you find this tutorial helpful on your ukulele journey, and if you do, please give this video a thumbs up. Consider subscribing to my channel and hitting the notification bell, because that helps spread the ukulele love here on YouTube. So grab your ukulele, grab your beverage, let's get going. The three easy chords that you probably already know. There is A minor. There's an A7. There's an F. You have to add this finger to get a D minor. The other three finger chord is E7. And so index finger, middle, ring, just like that. So B7. I play it as a barred chord, barring all the way across the second fret and then using my middle finger to catch the C string on the third fret. To do a barred chord, there's several things that you can do. Is you can use the physics, press your ukulele into your hand as well as your hand into the ukulele, so you get like kind of a double force. You could double up this finger as well and then do this with your ring finger. Or you could do another fingering for the B7. You could do a B7 kind of like your E minor, but everything moved over up to your, starting here on your E string second, C string third, and G string with the fourth fret. That is another way to play your B7, and it's perfectly legit. You can skip the F7 totally and just replace it with an F. No harm, no foul. The reason for adding the seventh chord there is just to add a little tension to the music, but you don't have to do that. You can also do a cheat on the F7, and I frequently do this cheat, is ring finger on the third fret of the C and not putting the pinky on the A string. You can just leave that pinky off. It still has an F7 flavor. Adding the pinky adds the C into the chord, and the F7 chord has a C, but no harm, no foul if you want to do that, or just keep it an F. I hope that helped you so that you don't feel daunted by these chords. Is daunted a real word? I know there's daunting. Did I use a real word? Let me know in the comments down below. Am I just speaking gibberish like worser? You can play this song entirely with the, well, no, not entirely with the island strum. You'll have to throw in some single down strums, but almost all of it can be done with the island strum. So you can just do down, down, up, down, 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 up, down. It sounds great. I work all night, I work all day to pay the bills I have to pay. Ain't it sad? I do a little bit of spice. You don't have to. You could just do an island strum, but I do it single down strum and then hit 2, 3, 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 3 hits following a single down strum to get those 4 beats in. So give that a try, but if you don't want to, just island strum your way through it. In the meantime, let me show you some ways that you can spice up your strumming, because I truly believe that what you do with your strumming hand can make such a big difference in elevating the sound and the interest level that you can have for an audience, right? You know, if you're just doing it for yourself, you don't, you know, you can just do the island strum, but to make it interesting for an audience, here's what you can do. I like to take the island strum and add a roll to the second beat. What do I mean? That's a roll. So what I'm doing is I'm making my hand into not quite a fist, but I'm certainly curling it up, and then I uncurl it starting with my pinky. I have to move my hand slightly higher on my ukulele because I want that pinky to hit my G string. So instead of down here, then I have to come up above my strings a little. I'll show you from the side. This is how it sounds on the A minor. 1, 2, here I go. Down, down, up, down, up, down. Roll up, down, roll up, down, roll up, down, up. Like that. I had to play around with my roll strum in order to get it sound right, and part of how I played around with it is just started trying to fit it in on songs. So this is a great chance to try to do that. I am playing with a low G instrument. Love my low G for some songs, like this one. So what I could do too is pluck that G string. Dun, dun, pluck, down, up, down, up, pluck, down, up. Like that. Makes for a more guitarish kind of sound. You could also combine the pluck and the roll, which is something that I tend to do. I think then it gives it more of a foreign flavor, and I like that sound almost like a flamenco guitar. You know, as I dream in my mind that I'm a flamenco guitarist. Yeah, no, not really. How many times do you play that chord? That's the question I'm asked so many times in my live lessons and group jams, things like that. Not all chords in this song get 4 beats. In fact, some of them get 2. And if they're 2, they are color-coded in yellow. And I do that on my chord chart too, so I really recommend that you go to the link down below and grab a chord chart and become a Patreon member as well. So I give those yellow chords just 2 down strums. There are chords that only get 1 beat, and so you will see those as a single, like that. And so particularly in the chorus, we have quite a bit of that. So I'm going to slowly go through this with the island strum with you. We're going to start out with the hard one, the chorus. Here we go. I've got your ukulele, got it in tune. Here we go, nice and slowly. 1, 2, here we go. A minor, B7, E7, A minor, slap, 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 A minor, B7, E7, and A minor. This will be time-stamped down below so you can practice it. You have speed controls built into YouTube in the little settings. You can use that to slow me down if you need to. And I also really like using the Google Chrome extension to slow things down as well. Let's do the verse. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. E7, if you'll notice, if you're doing the riff, which I'll teach next, it gets an extra measure. But if you're just going to do the strumming, then just 2 E7s there at the end of the verse and move on to the chorus. I have the tab notation down below for the riff. I'm going to zoom you in and we are going to watch it up close. Things that I want you to observe is how I'm also trading fingers on my picking hand, and the reason for that is if you keep using one finger over and over again, it tends to seize up. You get a muscle rigidity happening. If you're trading fingers, even if you're trading fingers in your thumb, then it keeps them light and supple. So be aware of that as you're working on this riff. The riff is repeated twice in the song. It looks like this. Let's do it again. 1, 2, here I go. One, two, a little faster. One, two, a little faster. One, two, a little faster. I hope you enjoy adding this little riff to your playing. So who's heard of Eurovision? It's actually, I probably didn't know about it until maybe the last 2-3 years, but it's quite the thing. I have a girlfriend that watched all of it. Well, in 1974, they held the very first Eurovision Song Contest, and ABBA, a band out of Sweden, won it. ABBA, if you didn't know, were 2 married couples from Sweden that the men were primarily the songwriters for the group. And here, this is more like news rather than history nerd stuff. November 5th, 2021, they're dropping a brand new album with brand new material. I'm excited. I want to hear what they've got to say. When this was performed by ABBA, Frida was the woman who sang the lead vocals for this song. And you know, it's a very woman-centered song. And so interesting enough, neither couple in ABBA, their marriages did not survive this working relationship, and I totally get it. I worked with my husband in a restaurant. Yeah, it can be really challenging. So she then went on to marry royalty. Yeah, I kid you not, she became a German princess. And she married, I'm looking at my notes, Prince Heinrich Russo-Rus. And I'm probably not saying that right, but he's from the House of Rus that ruled the Principality of Rus-Gera, and the whole bunch of German history behind all that is now known as Thuringia. And so that she got, you know, I guess being royalty these days does not necessarily mean that you have a lot of money, but when he talks about inheriting his mother's farm and he developed golf courses on his house in Sweden and Switzerland, that tells me that probably there is a good deal of money there. And she's also known for her charitable causes, so good for her, doing good things with her money. Sadly, he died of lymphoma, and she is currently dating the 5th Viscount of Hamblin, so British royalty. I don't know anything about that family, but other than I do know that his descendants founded a very large company that's still very much a thing in Britain today. I'm doing the pluck, roll, up, down, up version of the strumming, but they all work. 1, 2, 1, 2, here we go. I have to pay. Ain't it sad? And still there never seems to be a single penny left for me. That's too bad. In my dreams I have a plan. Money, 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 must be funny in a rich man's world. Money, 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 always sunny in a rich man's world. Ah, all the things that I could do if I had a little money. It's a rich man's world. It's a rich man's world. A man like that is hard to find, but I can't get him off my mind. Ain't it sad? And if he happens to be free, I'll bet he wouldn't fancy me. That's too bad. So I must leave. I'll have to go to Las Vegas or Monaco. Win a fortune in a game, my life will never be the same. Money, 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 must be funny in a rich man's world. Money, 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 always sunny in a rich man's world. All the things that I could do if I had a little money. It's a rich man's world. It's a rich man's world. I hope that this tutorial and play along has brought you joy and confidence in your ukulele journey. I would like to thank all my patrons for their great feedback, song suggestions, community building, and your very important financial support for my teaching efforts. If you appreciate what I do and have a few dollars a month to spare, I encourage you to join our growing Patreon community. Don't forget to hit that like button before you go and keep spreading the ukulele love.